everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Stream Miami. Thank you for joining us for a different kind of talk. Tonight, I'm very grateful to be having the show. Last week, we took a break from streaming. I just didn't sit well, and it wasn't the right time, and the emotional roller coaster that we've all been going through didn't allow me to or my guests to do this show last week, but we're back on track, baby. Next week on Tuesday, we have Raquel Lord, Wednesday, Christopher Iman, and Thursday, Barbara Hurt. But tonight, I have the pleasure of being joined by a very good friend. He's not only talented, but he's just an amazing human being. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kalil Valentino. What's going on?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me on this wonderful platform. I've been watching it and waiting for my turn.
Yeah?
Yes.
How have you been?
It's been a challenging time for all of us, but I've been good. I've been staying at home here in my house and, only been going to select places, but I've been really, really good. I've been being creative more than anything. So,
yeah, that's good. That's good. You're back to work and everything's back to some kind of normalcy?
Yeah, our line of work, all of our clients and stuff are in the market. So when the market goes crazy, our phones go crazy. But
what do you do?
So I do. Okay, so my partner owns his own financial firm. So he tells people what to do with their money, how to invest it, all that stuff, how not to outlive their money. And then I just market it and run this whole company.
That's good. I want to remind all of our viewers to make sure to share the video. When you share the video, you share the love, everybody, because every entertainer, especially Kalil tonight here, invites us to his beautiful home and opens up his heart and his soul to be able to see, and to share with us all that love that he's got about his story. And it'll be great to share with so many people. So please, some likes and some hearts for Kalil, and make sure you share the video. It's a great way to support not only the platform, but the entertainer. So I have so much to talk to you about.
Okay, I'm ready.
So I just want to dive right in and let's get to it. Let's get back to basics. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, Kalil. So this is the first segment of our show, and I know you know the drill. So tell me, where were you born? When were you born? How old are you? What's your favorite food? Your favorite color? Your favorite hobby? Everything that you like us to know.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, my real name is Calvin Brownlee, but my stage name is Kalil Valentino. I'm originally from St. Louis, and I talk a lot with my hands. So if you see me doing all this, that's because I'm trying to get it out. I am 36 years old. I have an identical twin brother, but I am one of 8. Actually, I'm one of the oldest of 8. And like I said, I'm from St. Louis, and my favorite color kind of fluctuates, right, with the season. But so right now, I'm really digging red. My sign is Leo. I'm not going to explain about that. You probably know all about that. And yeah, I mean, I'm the jack of all trades. I'm good at a lot of things. Anything I put my mind to, I'm good at it.
Good. So you have an identical twin brother, right? Mm-hmm. And we're gonna talk about that later on in our interview. So those are the basics. Where'd you go to school?
I went to school in St. Louis. I went to Riverview Gardens High School and then Jennings High School because we moved. So I went to school in St. Louis.
And what do you have? It's all boys, or you're half and half? How many boys and girls?
There are 6 boys and 2 girls.
Oh, wow.
So me and my twin are the oldest.
Oh, you both are the oldest. You're the first ones.
Yep. My brother popped out first, and my mother said it took me 12 damn minutes to come out. So I don't know what I was waiting on.
Oh, you're the second one to be born.
I'm the second one to pop out.
Oh, and that's interesting.
She said they had to reach in. So yeah.
You don't want to come out. So let's get into the juicy and the nitty gritty of the conversation. You ready to dive deep?
Let's do it.
Let's go. So we did establish that you're one of 8 children, and you also have a twin brother. Your childhood at home wasn't always ideal. In fact, your mother separated from your father when you were just 12 years old. Now, you lived with your grandmother, and you spent a lot of time, from your childhood with your mom's family. Tell me a little bit about this time for you.
My mother is the strongest woman that I know. I mean, my grandmother helped her, but when you have 8 kids, I mean, imagine raising one kid by yourself. But when you had 8, and you're really a single parent with the help of your family, it's tough. And so I just commend my mother. When I think about her, I get emotional. And so growing up, yes, you can see I'm the happy one on the right of your screen. But growing up, we didn't always have a lot. It was a bunch of us. We lived in small spaces, but we made do what we had. A lot of times she went without, and my grandmother too. But they taught us the value of hard work and being independent and not giving up on our dreams. And my mother was actually one of the ones that kept us in talent shows and kept us, out performing. So, she saw something in us before. So I wouldn't take nothing back from having a huge family. I think that actually was a plus because now I know how to treat people. And it gives me much more respect for people who have big families.
There was one episode in specific in your childhood with your father, which I believe that you have not shared publicly with anybody, which now, as an adult, you describe it as deeply hurtful and embarrassing. What happened and how did it affect you?
Okay, so you're right. I have never shared this story with anyone. It's like so personal. But, so when I was younger, I grew up Baptist, like a lot of Black families who grew up in the Baptist church. And, they don't teach, they teach actually anti-gay stuff. They teach against homosexuality and gay issues. And, I was a mama's boy. I loved being in the kitchen with my mom while she cooked. And my dad did not like that. I think he could see that I was gay before I knew I was gay. I think he could kind of see it like all parents, right? And so I remember one particular instance, I was in the kitchen doing my homework with my mother, because I'm a mom's boy. And my dad was in the back room with all of my brothers. Remember I told you I had 5 brothers. And he didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that I was in the kitchen with my mother. And so next thing you know, I feel him grabbing me. And then he puts me on my sister's dress, on her tutu, and makes me spin around. And I was just humiliated. I resented him for a long time. And it left me confused. Like, wait, here I am, 8 or 9 years old. Is this what I don't even know? I had never thought about, I didn't think I was a transgender child or anything like that. So I was kind of confused because I never had any thoughts about putting on women's clothes and all that stuff. So it just left me confused for a long, long time. Like, is this the way that I'm supposed to be? I didn't even know what I was. So I kind of felt ashamed because I felt like I was outed even before I knew what outed meant, I'm sorry. But I never shared that because I always carried that with me. And I always felt like in the back of my mind is that what led me to being the person that I am. And, I just always kind of kept that.
Did your relationship with your father change after that?
It didn't change. I don't really have a close relationship with my dad. None of my brothers and sisters really, really do. Like I said, my mom raised us with my grandmother and my uncles and all of that. But I never told him how I felt. I don't think to this day he even knows. I don't even think he will remember that because, my dad, used to do a little bit of drugs and he did a little, he drank a little bit. And I think it was his way of seeing that I was gay and trying to get it out of me, kind of. That's what they teach in the Baptist church and unfortunately, a lot of our Black communities. And I think that was his way of foreseeing it before I did, and he was trying to prevent it from happening.
Do you think that you will address this with your father at any point in your life?
Yes, I think so. My dad is not in the best of health, and I love him to death. I will always love and respect him as a person. When they called me and they said, I think he was just in the hospital a couple of weeks ago, I called, I FaceTime with him. Anytime he needs meds, anything, I will be there because there's no sense of holding a grudge. I'm 36 years old. And if I want to be forgiven for the things that I've done in the past and the ill mistakes that I've made, I need to do that with him. And I need to do that with other people because that's just a part of life. You got to move on. You can't move on if you're holding on to things, especially that happened in the past.
Do you have a drink with you?
I do in my Continental glass.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. So fancy. Cheers.
Yes, cheers.
Maybe I can't do this show without a drink. So let's talk about
cute.
Let's talk about school. You were picked on a lot because you have a high-pitched voice,
You hear it,
because
don't
you complete all your sentences,
you? I complete
because
all.
you talk like this, because you're very smart, you were always very attentive in class. But it wasn't until middle school when it dawned on you that you were gay, because you were kind of oblivious to the fact that you were,
I
How
didn't
did
know.
you come to that realization?
I did honestly. People, I know some people like my partner. He knew he was gay ever since he was a little kid. But me, I never knew what it was called. I knew I felt different. But I remember this guy. Okay, so in middle school, I was not popular at all. But I used to be in this group. We had these groups where you would travel with, and this was called Group E. And you stay with that same group from your freshman year all the way to your senior year. And I remember locking eyes out of all the people in the class with this one guy. He was a jock, and what they would consider jocks, and really popular. And I'm like, why am I taken to this guy? It wasn't like I liked the guy. It wasn't none of that. I was just drawn to him. And I was sitting in the back room. He was sitting in the front. So here we go. Fast forward. At lunch, he comes to me with a napkin. And the napkin says, "Are you like me?" And I said, what do you mean? And then he taps on it again. And and then I responded back, yes, because I knew he said, "Are you gay?" And I said, yes. And then after that, it just, I can't believe I came out to somebody on a piece of paper, on a napkin. And here I am just in middle school. So it was liberating, but I was like, that was my coming out moment to him. And then we in turns came out on the same day to our parents. And we didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did. We had no idea. I mean, it was two different instances that happened. We'll get into it, I'm sure. But yeah, we ended up coming out to each other. Coming out to our families on the same day.
So you have a twin brother and you emulated a lot after your brother, because he didn't get teased at school. It was a completely different thing. And you were like, why do I get teased and he doesn't, kind of thing. So you tried hard to act like him and just be like him. I'm sure there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages of having a twin, especially in school. Mm-hmm. Give me an example of each.
Okay, so being a twin, I love it. I would not take it back. But like you said, there are some advantages and disadvantages, right? So you're right. I did try to emulate him. He was the closest male figure that I would see every day. So I'm like, what? Okay, I got to stop all these hand movements and completing my sentences. And I'm like, okay, let me look at him because he's not getting teased. So one of the good things about this is we used to, okay, so now let's fast forward to high school. So in high school, we used to switch fourth period, and we did it all 4 years of school. I hated English, gym, and he hated English. So we would take each other's class, and I would sit him down and say, this is how I act. I'm very astute in class, so you have to make sure you do this. So we did that all 4 years, and nobody knew it. I mean, some students knew it. And then at the end of at our graduation, they knew. But then the bad part about it is sometimes people don't know. He would take those classes and not tell me what happened. So there have been instances like he would get into it with somebody in the class, and then the school bell rings at the end. One time, this guy just came and cold clocked me. And he's like, "Oh, what was all of that you were talking in class?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I mean, so he had mistook me for my brother. And it happens too with women, in high school too, coming and slapping me in the face. So that it's good and bad part.
What was the good part?
Getting away with it. when we got away with it, we got away with it. And also like in my career too, like it's something special. So, it's gotten our foot in the door a lot of times too.
You and I were the same age, and we were actually born in the same year. And you and I have a lot of similarities in our stories. We grew up in the time of the internet and AOL and the dial-up. You had to log in and and all these places, right? And the chat lines and the chat rooms and all of that. I think this is why I enjoy hearing your coming out story. How did your mom find out that you were gay?
Oh God. Okay. So by this time I'm in high school now, right? And so do you remember those phones that you could see all of the interior stuff, all of the wiring. They were
With
clear.
the light on it. I had the same one, baby.
So we had one attached to the wall in the kitchen. So there used to be this chat line that actually still exists today. I checked it. So it's called Interactive Mail. You know about it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It was before all these apps and Grindr and all that stuff. So I used to be a part of Interactive Mail. I used to call in for give fake stuff, 6132, all this stuff, right? That we're not going to say on here. But
okay.
So I used to give all of that. And so I had made friends with one particular guy. So one particular night, it was like midnight. I'm thinking my mom is asleep, okay? And she's ready to go to work the next day, whatever. I'm on the phone, chatting it up, going away. And then I kind of hear like the receiver lift in the kitchen. And I was like, no, it can't be her. Baby, when I hung up that phone, she came in there with her hands on her hips like that. And she says, is there something you want to say? And I said, no. So she pretended that she pretended that she didn't hear nothing. Now, mind you, I'm only like 16, 17, And so the next morning before school, she let the kids leave, my brothers leave, and then she pulled me to the side and talked to me and gave me the talk about, how hard our life was going to be and am I sure I want to do this? And then she just gave me a hug and just encouraged me. And then, of course, we talked along the way afterwards. And, she's the best mother right now. She's like my best friend.
Those chat lines were the tea, baby, because you had to sit there and listen to profiles. Click next, and you gotta click next. When you had a friend that you gotta write down a code and remember that code, and if you want to leave a message to that person, you gotta jot down your code. Baby, you got a list of the codes of the profile. It was crazy. I can't believe now looking back, it's crazy.
And then if you use those chat lines, that I don't know how it is now, but that shit appears on your billing statement. So I don't know what it would say.
Oh yeah, I do.
It appeared on your billing statement. I didn't pay the bill. It's my mother paid that. So she was going to find out one way or another.
Let me ask you, looking back, what would you tell your 15-year-old self?
I would tell my 15-year-old self to be brave. I didn't go to my high school prom because I was gay. I let my brother go, right? So, thinking about how we can switch stuff. He couldn't go because he was, everybody said, oh, who's the good twin? Who's the bad twin? My brother. He used to be in trouble all the time. And he was suspended from school, so they won't let him go. And it was an easy out for me because I was gay. I didn't want to have anyone ask me. I didn't feel comfortable. And so, yeah, so I would tell myself to be brave. I would say, I wish that slogan, "It gets better," was back then, because I would have said that to myself.
You say that your entertainer career started early on. You and your brother got involved in a dance group at the community center by the house. Tell me about how that happened.
So we moved over to we moved into my grandmother's place, and then down the street from her was a community center, right? It's called the MLK Community Center. And they had this program that was just starting out called the Lovinary program. It was about teaching kids back to basics, the family values, saying yes, sir, no, sir, setting tables, all the manner stuff. And so I joined that. I liked it, and then the community center had a basketball team. So I was like, they need a cheerleading team or a dance team, my creative stuff coming up. So I said, they need a cheerleading team or a dance team. So I formed a cheerleading team. I went around the neighborhood, got all the kids off the street, and I said, listen, y'all come be a part of this dance team in this community center. But the caveat was they had to be a part of this Lovinary program that was teaching it back to basics. So I was doing all that, giving back to the community, teaching dance, which I love to do. But also, I was actually priming myself for my own career. So it kind of worked out.
But did you guys start the dancing? Did you guys perform afterwards, or what happened with that?
So basically, it started from that community center, and then we formed a singing group in high school. It started with like 7 people, and we were doing all the talent shows. And then after that, we were opening up for everybody. I mean, we were doing at this point, I had met Xavier, Xavier Valentino. And we formed our own little dance group called the XYZ Dancers. And we were opening up for everybody. When celebrities would come in town, we were opening up. We were just everywhere. And it just kind of made me feel like, okay, we can do this. I can do this. And, I was always in somebody's basement dancing and, making it do what it do.
Xavier Valentino, he's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
You've known each other for a long time. Tell me a little bit about him.
My best friend is ride or die. He is, he has been there. I've known him ever since I was 18, 19 years old. I'm 36. And he has just been my ride or die. No matter what I do, I don't have to think twice about him. He is also one of the most creative people that I know. Like, he is behind a lot of the concepts and ideas that I come up with in the form of talents and stuff. He is part of that mastermind team, and he will do anything for anyone. Now, he real as hell. He has no fucking filter. Okay. But I think that's another thing that I like about him, because you need somebody that's going to tell you the truth and not be a yes person. So I wouldn't change anything. I'm glad I got him in my life.
Let's say what he has to say about you.
Hey, Kalil, I bet you think I was going to be here. Gotcha. I just wanted to take this quick opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for being the bestest friend that anyone could ever have for the past 20 years. It has been an amazing journey. We've struggled together, we've cried together, we've pretty much been through everything together, and I wouldn't trade any of it for anything in the world. And as you can see, this music is playing in the background because if you can remember, it was the very first dance that we learned back in 2000 at Matif Dance Studio. But anyone that knows Kalil knows that he's an amazing person. He will give the shirt off his back, and anyone is pretty much blessed to be in your presence. So just know that I love you and I will always be here for you. Straight up. Talk to you soon. Bye.
That's your best friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him and you. But and it's so funny it's so funny before you played that, like, I could hear the music, and I was like, he's playing the song. When I first met Xavier, I went into a dance class that was in another community center, and the dance instructor paired me up with him. I didn't know who he was at all. And I see this tall, lanky, light-skinned dude, and he had a do-rag on, and he's teaching me the choreography, and we have been tight ever since.
That's amazing. That's amazing. He's a great guy. He's a great person. And you know what? I asked him to do the video real quick, and I think I got it in like after 10 minutes. I mean, he was right. I'm like, bitch, you got all this production going on in 10 minutes. What? I mean,
and he listen, I have to beg him to do stuff like this. He is. So that was good that he did that. I thank you for that.
You're welcome. A lot of people know that you have a twin. I didn't even know you had a twin until just recently. But you guys do music together. That's something that a lot of people really do not know. And you both form a group called the Etc. Twins, correct? So
yes.
Before we get into it and you tell me a little bit about it, let's see a bit of the productions that you guys have produced together.
Let's battle to the death. I don't trust ya, so you better bring the game. Mines I brought with me, I hope you did the same. Off we go, the music's playing, so come over here. Champagne is popping, because I need you here. It's a celebration. If you understand, let me catch my breath. Cause me without you, man, it don't make sense. I'ma chase you down till there ain't nothing left. To the end of the world, I don't wanna be without you. If today's the last time I get to see you, I'm gonna make it count. Baby, what will I tell? And I know you want me to. I know you want me to. Shawty, I can get you now. And I know.
That was hot.
Thank you. I have some of those videos and stuff I haven't watched. I'm always on to the next project. And so thank you. I mean, people don't know. People think that pageants and stuff was my first love. Music is my first love.
Talk to me about it. Talk to me about music. Talk to me about how this came up. Talk to me about etc.
So I've always been doing music, like even before pageants. I was doing, so it started dancing, and then we started talent shows, singing, and all that. We were no good. Okay. Then we went to New York, auditioned for Apollo, and I mean, we did a whole bunch of different things. And as far as like, believing in myself, there have been times where I'm like, oh my God, are we good enough? Are we good enough? Are we good enough? And then we had opportunities where we worked with Missy Elliott on her show, Road to Stardom. And then we worked with TLC on their project on UPN, Are You the Girl? And worked with Cisco, and the list goes on and on and on. And so we just decided to just dive deep. So I've always been doing music and working with like different celebrities and just trying to make it count. And we've gotten a lot better over the years. The sky is the limit. If anybody wants to go check out our music, they can go to etceteratwins.com. And we write our own stuff. We work with different producers. Right now, we're working with Chris Brown's producer. And a lot of that music you saw was produced by Chris Brown's producer. So we are just so fortunate, and I'm just so blessed to be able to have people who follow me and fans who follow me in both the pageant and music.
You have throughout time, you have pulled off some great performances. Of your own, collaborating with other people, etc., and in many stages across the nation. Which has been your favorite performance and why?
Oh, God. I've had so many good performances. I'm going to say two. I did I'm going to say my runner-up and my winner. My runner-up performance, I was invited to perform at Denver Pride when I was Mr. Continental. And these people didn't know me, but they promoted me as if I was Beyonce or someone. And Xavier was there, and Raul Valentino, all these, they danced with me, my normal crew. And I came out, and it was over 30,000 people. And those people rocked out. I really felt like I had arrived then. I was like, you know what? That's what this is about. And I did that concert like I was a Beyonce. I was actually doing it. I did that show. I had my little whips and I had everything, And I had sound effects. We went side. I mean, we did it up. So that was one of my favorite performances. But my ultimate favorite one was when I won Mr. Continental. When I won Mr. Continental. My talent, I worked really hard on it. I was like, I know we're going to get into it, but I wanted to do something really that I wanted to do. And I did that. And to this day, I go back and watch that video the most.
But talk to me about that talent, because even though we're going to touch about Continental later on, I wanna know about this, your perspective on this. You did say that it was very different for you to just display who you really were on the Continental stage, and a lot of people just, you had a lot of backlash from a lot of people by sticking to your true self when it came to your talent. And this display, which was a winning talent, is what made you win, the title. How was your experience about, going through that and fighting the backlash from people?
Well, people used to tell me all the time, oh, Kalil, you'll never win. Xavier knows his story, right? Oh, Kalil, you'll never win. They don't want to see hip hop, okay? It was this big old thing for a while. Only thing Continental is about is Broadway talents, right? That's the only thing Continental wants to see. It's Broadway talent. So you get everybody's doing it, and then you're like, okay, again. And I actually did. I did Jump Jive one year. I had a standing ovation. I've always had a standing ovation in talent because that's my favorite category. But when I left stage, everybody else is screaming and yelling, but I felt so empty inside. I felt like, why did I do that? I felt like that's not me. I don't care if they're yelling. I need to be comfortable in it. And if I had won that year, I don't know how I would have done, because I felt like, well, I do know that I would have had still a successful reign because I know what my plans are. But in terms of me feeling whole and feeling happy about the choice that I made that year, even though I got a standing ovation, I wasn't happy with it. So I vowed, like, if I come back, I was going to do what I needed to do. So what I did was I dressed it up to look how they needed to look. I still did me and I did them. And, for me, that was always a production. It meant being clean. It meant making it more about myself. It meant making sure that I stood out as a lead. And that's what they want to see. They want to see who you are. That's why a lot of solo talents do really, really well there, because they want to make sure that it's about you. And if you have a lot of people around, it makes sure it compliments you, and the focus is always there.
Which makes me, brings me to the next question, which is, you are very confident. You have grown up to just own your stuff, know your stuff, and you're very confident about yourself, your physique, your abilities, your talent. But we all have and we face some insecurities. I want you to tell me, what are yours?
Um, one of my insecurities is my hair. You can't tell right now, but I'm thinning a little bit.
Your hair, baby. If I had that hair, I'd be happy as hell.
No.
Any hair, I'll be happy with.
Did you hear what I just said? Okay, I said you can't tell because I'm a master at this shit. Okay, no, but I'm thinning a little bit at the top, right? And that's why they got tricks and shit. So I'm thinning a little bit at the top, and so it's a confidence booster when you start confidence loser when you start losing your hair, right? When you start thinning. And I know it's a part of growing up, and you get the wrong genes or it's genetic. Yeah. So people don't know this, but I actually had a hair transplant. Me and my partner, we had a hair transplant, like 2 years ago, and it helped me. It really did help me, but I'm thinning a little bit at the top. So that's like one of my biggest insecurities. And also singing, I don't want to be flat on notes.
I'm thinning a little bit too, if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell if I'm thinning a little bit here.
No, you're okay, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So tell me about your partner. It's great that you brought him up. You have a loving partner for 13 years. You guys have been married for 11 years. Tell me about your wedding and tell me about Mark.
Well, my partner Mark is my ride or die too. He's like next to Xavier, and anything I want to do, he is there 100%. We got married on a yacht back in 2008. We got married on a yacht back in 2008, and it was for that brief window of time when Prop 8 happened and all of that craziness. But he has been there every step of the way for Continental. He has been there with me, making sure that I'm okay and just being my rock,
Where was your wedding?
My wedding was here in Marina del Rey. So we sailed the Marina del Rey while we were saying our wedding vows.
Oh, that's very nice. So I took the liberty of asking Mark, what he thought about you.
No, don't. Are you really? Oh no.
Hello, my name is Mark, and I am Kalil's husband of 11 years. We've known each other for 13 years. And he is my pageant king, and he is my everything. So I love him very much, and he is the most talented person that you will ever meet. He can do things that I think even he thinks he can't do sometimes. A very talented individual when it comes to graphic design, when it comes to music, when it comes to being creative. I've never met anybody more talented and more creative. So anyway, he's amazing. I love him very much, and I'm very happy to have him in my life, and I'm very lucky. So I just want to say thank you to him for a wonderful 11 years of marriage and 13 years of knowing him, and I wish him the very best.
I'm not kidding.
That's beautiful. You guys make a really beautiful couple. What is the biggest challenge that you guys have both had to face as a couple? What would you say has been, the biggest challenge?
As a couple, I think define the stereotypes. Everyone thinks that, he's white, I'm black, so he must be paying for everything or taking care of everything. I have no say, so I'm just going along with the program. Just define those stereotypes. I mean, you have, at the end of the day, you have to realize that's those people's problem, right? that's people who judging you. That's their issue. But just keeping our mind clear of all of that negativity, keeping our mind clear. Anybody that knows me know that I like to be around positive people, and I am so quick to cut you off if you're negative. And just trying to keep our head in that space to remember what we're about.
It's funny you say that because I'm sure that I would assume that would be one of the challenges that you had to face, being black and he being white, but how did you when that happened the first time, how did you feel, number one, and two, how did you overcome that?
Well, in those instances, sometimes you don't know how to address it because and it also depends on who it's coming from. Sometimes it'd be your closest friends your mutual friends you have. And you're like, this bitch just, you know, and you don't know how to address it. And sometimes you address it after the fact. You know, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm gonna take this opportunity. You have to find the right opportunity, especially. So it depends on who you're talking about. And you know,
I don't know. That's a very, I mean, obviously there with situations like that comes great wisdom as well to be able to tackle and situations of that sort and how to communicate as well. So I mean, I commend you for that because the situation and the animosity that exists, you know, just by looking at people. I mean, people can't even go to the park and sit there because they get called on the police and things like that, you know.
And if
so
you guys are not a strong enough unit, you know, it's easy for somebody to come and break you up, right? Because you're not a strong enough unit. If somebody's whispering to your partner, hey, he ain't carrying any weight, or, you know, and your partner is not, you know, you're not strong enough, you like any friendship or relationship, somebody can come in between that. So you have to be strong, a strong enough unit. We've been together so long. Don't
right. You bring up a good point. You know, you bring up a good point. It's very interesting that you say that because, you know, sometimes we don't realize that, yeah, you can have a partnership, a marriage with somebody, and people think that it's, you know, between that person and yourself, which it is. But society also puts a lot of unnecessary pressure and in there that sometimes you don't realize that you have. You know, it's maintaining that camouflaging and maintaining that outside, which keeps you guys healthy. That's amazing that you said that. So thank you for that. We're going to move on to the next segment about real talk. We're going to talk about continental pageantry and what's next for you. But before we do that and we start talking, I want to give a little commercial to Local Queen Moment of the Week, sponsored by Local Queen Merch and Stream Miami. But it's really Local Queen Merch. Do you know Joel and Christian Kalil?
Yes, those are good friends of mine.
Yeah, they're amazing people, and they decided to create, along with myself, they decided to sponsor this moment of the week contest. And here's how to enter. Number one, you follow a Local Queen Merch and Stream Miami on Facebook. You follow both our pages, and you tag hashtag Local Queen Moment on the lives, pictures, videos of your favorite queens. And you can tag as many queens as you want, even yourself. And then you and your queen will be automatically entered to win $50 Amex gift card each week. Now, on Thursdays, we announce the winner here. So it's basically very simple. You just social media, you follow both pages, and then you just hashtag away. And a winner will be picked out of a pile randomly, and they get sent some money. You know, this is what they do. And I just love these two people so much. They give so much to the community. They're just so amazing. You know, it's not even about the money. It's about the presence. It's about the support. It's about the words. I mean, I can go on and on and on about Joel and Christian. They have become really special people in my life, to be honest with you. I appreciate them very much.
It's really nice of them to do it, and it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yes. So Local Queen Moment of the Week. So hashtag Local Queen Moment to anything that you want, and you'll be entering into a contest. And tomorrow I'll be announcing our first winner here during the show. So that's my commercial. Did you like it?
Ding, ding. Yes, I did.
There you go. So in 2003, you moved to Los Angeles, where you thrived in your dancing career. You did mention that you were part of a TLC show. You danced with celebrities like Missy Elliott, Cisco, Mary J. Blige, and somewhere in between, from watching pageant tapes with your cousin, Miss Kitty Little, pageantry sparked an interest. Why did you choose Continental?
Oh my God. Okay, so me and Xavier were at my cousin Kitty's house. We used to always go over to her house in St. Louis and watch pageant tapes. That was our hobby, right? And one day I was over at her house and I saw this tape, and it was all guys, it was all men. And I saw these big letters on the screen that said Continental. And I literally, it's like everything went in slow motion. I said, what is that? I went like that, like the big eyes. And my cousin said, that's Continental. And it was at the time where everybody's introducing themselves, right? You know, this is the introduction part. And I was having an out-of-body experience, like literally. They would all come to the mic, and I would watch them, but it was like my head was on every last one of their bodies. It was so crazy, but it really happened that way. And from that moment, I said, I'm going to do it. I said, I'm going to be Mr. Continental. And I never let that thought go. So I really wanted to be a part of that system because it is the best to me, in my opinion. It is the cream of the crop. It's about class. It's about intelligence and poise. And it's also about, being the best version of yourself. Everything about Continental, all the categories, people don't realize, it's about our everyday life. Nutrition, looking good, right? Public speaking, talent. If you're going to get into this industry, it's about entertaining. So all of these things already spoke to me. I was already doing these things in my life. So it was like a natural thing. So that's why I saw myself. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it.
I know, but you're also a competitor. You like to compete and you like to win.
Naturally.
That's just in you.
You can't be in the entertainment industry and not be a competitor at heart. I'm sorry. We all are. Even singers, right? Even singers. You want to be the best singer. You want to get the Grammy over the next one. But as far as Continental is concerned, I want to be a part of the best. I consider myself part of the best. And back in the day, if gay sisters and drag sisters, when you want to be part of the best, you compete against each other, right? So That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get into Continental because that's where the best were going. And I wanted to be a part of that so that it was like a big goal for myself. It was like something I wanted to achieve.
While you were competing this year for the title of Mr. Continental, what was it about pageantry that you liked the most?
I like the fact that I could be creative. I more creative than I could be in other areas of my life. Like, in music, there's a certain thing, a certain standard, what you have to do, right? That's accepted, and it fluctuates and changes from, time to time. But when it comes to pageantry, especially when it comes to talent, I could be my creative stuff. I love fashion. I love coming up with creative concepts. So I think I like just the aggressive, competitive nature, but I also like the fact that I can be as creative as I possibly can. You see Mark walking in the background right now.
Yeah, I just did. I was like, I was gonna tell you, if that wasn't Mark, baby, you in danger, girl.
No. I got a ring alarm, okay?
Listen, so you won Continental on your 5th try. You were finally crowned Mr. Continental 2014, and you reigned with Naisha Lopez. That was your queen.
There we go.
She's one of my best Judies. I mean, we're really good friends. What is your favorite anecdote with her?
My memory with her, my favorite time with her.
Yeah, your favorite anecdote. Yes.
I have so many memories with Naisha. I love my queen to death. We had so much in common. We had so many stories, but I remember one of the best stories was my Nashville story. Now, some of it's too high for TV, so I ain't saying it on here, okay? But we toured the Grand Ole Opry. We went there for our prelim, Mr. and Miss Tennessee Continental. And we got a chance to tour the Grand Ole Opry. We were on stage actually live when the show, and then afterwards, all of our hotel shenanigans and everything. And that picture you see right there to the right, that was our last prelim we did. And we sent that picture to Jimmy. And Tommy Ross was there too. So yeah, I think my Nashville Grand Opry experience was the best one.
So I had to ask Naisha, of course, what she thought about you, because I know before we're not we get so formal about what are the best anecdotes or not. I really know the tea.
Okay.
I know the real dirt.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bring it up, but I know some dirt.
That's too hot. That's too hot for TV.
So you both, every time when I asked you about her, you give me all the formalities, and when I asked her, she gave me the same thing.
Hello, Kalil. It's your queen, Naisha Lopez. Kalil, I hope when you receive this, you are in great health and doing well, given all of today's circumstances. But what I really wanted to do was share with everyone what an amazing guy you are, and that you have been one of the best Mr. Continentals the system has ever had. Your generosity and your guidance for male entertainers in the world of pageantry is a true blessing for anyone on the receiving end of it. I'm lucky to know you and to have reigned with you. You will always have a special place in my heart. I love you always, and let's have a cocktail soon. Stay safe.
I know, she's so sweet. You know, what is your most memorable moments of Mr.
That
Continental?
meant the world to me because she know how much we just have so much fun when we're around each other, you know, and it just meant the world to me. So thank you. I love you too. And I enjoyed every minute with you. I remember we went on a Texas tour and we were kikiing. I mean, it was just so many instances and memories. So Nasia, I love you too. And thank you for being a good queen. And friend.
You guys had some good times.
Yeah, we did. That's why I said it's 2 hours TV.
You
So
sure did. Yeah, you sure did. What is one of your most memorable moments as Mr. Continental?
my most memorable moments besides the one that I told you about. Okay, so I perform. So right now I have a preliminary in Curacao. Okay, that I'm actually the pageant director for, but I went over to perform as Mr. Continental as special guest for their gay pride for Mr. Caribbean island of Curacao. Okay, and I didn't even know these women, but they came, and I wish I could go get it right now. But they carved a little cutout of me, of my chest and my medallion and everything. And they brought it. I was like literally like almost in tears. They brought it to me, and they didn't know me. I didn't know them. They brought it to me after I got done performing, and it was made out to me and everything. And I have it on my mantle inside of my family room. And it's moments like that that really made it worthwhile, because I spent my time trying to inspire people. People say, "Oh, Kalil, what did you want to do? It was all about attention for you?" No, it wasn't. You know, we all want attention. We're entertainment for that, right? But I wanted to inspire people because I wanted people to feel that they could do it too. Because for so long, people told me I couldn't because I did hip hop. And so I wanted to turn the tables, and I wanted people to be inspired.
One of your kids, it's a former Mr. Continental. Tell me about Sir Tuan Valentino and how did that crowning moment feel?
So, Sir is my brother. Everybody thinks he's
your brother.
Yeah, everybody thinks he's my kid.
He says he's your kid.
Well, was he drunk during that time? He was tipsy. But yes, that he is. We're like two peas in the same pie. We literally are. Like the way we compete, the way it was easy to mold him, to get him prepared for Continental, because he listens so well, and he trusted me. He trusted everything that I said to him. And I remember when I would make him come over here. We go in my garage and I say, "Walk, let's walk, let's talk." We would break down everything. And the next time he came back over, he remembered everything I said. He didn't revert back to anything. He listened and he internalized it. And I think that's why he won, and then after he listened and internalized that, he listened and internalized that, he added his own to it. You know, he added his own. And so I love him. I'm so happy that I was there and experienced his reign with him. And he had just turned out to just be one of my favorite people in the world. And I had such good memories with him too.
Do you have plans to pursue any other pageants in the future?
No. I think I'm done with pageants. I really want to focus on my music. I've been doing a lot of work with my music. And if I ever was to do a pageant again, it would be something international, you know? But I don't think, once you get Continental, you're spoiled. Once you get Continental, you're like, I don't want to do nothing else. And it's the truth, honestly, because also it's what you make of it, right? If you spend your time inspiring people while you're Mr. Continental and performing and doing what you need to do, you're going to reap the benefits. I'm still reaping the benefits, and I'm a former many years over. So, yeah.
Who do you consider right now to be top competitors in the male pageantry circuit at the moment?
I'm gonna forget somebody, I know. Well, I'm not too.
Don't give me the formalities, girl. Give me 3 names.
No,
top 3 names.
I'm trying to figure out who, because my focus really has been Continental. I haven't really been thinking about no one else. So the people I'm going to say now is I only know them because of Continental. I think Savon Sanchez, who was in top 5, I think he has more than what it takes to, one, do Continental, be Mr. Continental, but he's talented. The boy can sing, okay? I would love to see Leo DeMore come back to the stage. Travis Stansel, he's really good. Of course, Xavier Valentino is doing it. C.A. Lopez, my partner in Sean, I would love for him to come back to Continental. He won't do it, but I'm working on it. And it's so many other. And then Junior Corbin Sinister from he was my Mr. last year for Liberty.
Right.
He's another person that is like a sponge. And then obviously I'm a big fan of yours because I feel like you're like me. You're picky about what you do, and you're very meticulous. And there's so many other people. And I'm sorry if I forgot some of y'all, but that's who I can think of right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What are you focusing on now? What is next for you? What's going on right now?
I'm focusing on my music and politics. Okay, I'm focusing on music and getting involved in politics because right now this is the moment it takes us all to do something different. And a lot of the entertainers don't want to, they worry about their brand. Well, you know what I say? I say fuck a brand right now. We don't have time to be worrying about no brand. The decision we make this year is life and death. So right now I'm focused on my music and staying involved and making sure I'm involved in the decisions that are being made in our life.
Tell us something that we will be surprised to know about you.
Something you'll be surprised to know about me. Okay. I love anything dealing with the moon, the stars, the planets, how we got here. I'm a geek for all that stuff. When I watch Netflix, I search for end of world movies. I am just like a nerd for that kind of stuff. I love it when they come out with 2012 and all these movies about the end of the world and catastrophes and shit like that. I love it.
That's very interesting to know. I didn't know that about you. That really does answer the question.
I want
to remind our view. Oh yeah, it's the truth. Yeah, so that's good. I appreciate that. That's very interesting. I had no idea. I wouldn't even picture you, being a geek like that.
Yeah.
About that stuff. Yeah, I like that stuff too. It's crazy. There's a series on Netflix right now. Not a series. Well, yeah, I guess you could call it a series. It's called History 101.
I heard of that.
You've seen it? Yes. So then they give like an hour of like different topics. Like the first one is about fast food. Like how do we get into fast food and everything how it started and all the consequences and everything, and there's different topics. Each episode is a different topic. And I found it so interesting. Nuclear power, DNA, genetics, and all these things. You should really take a look.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I want to remind our viewers that this is the time that if you have questions for Kalil, make sure you put them on the comment section because we're going to get to that segment real quick. So we have one more question. I have one more question for you. And if they have more questions for you, then we'll answer those in a minute. Okay. You are no strangers to talk shows. You actually produced a very successful talk show that was on its way of being picked by a very relevant network, TV network. But it fell through. Tell me about your newly launched online talk show, We Can't Breathe, and what is the purpose behind it?
Well, okay, so for the very first time last week, you were a part of it, and Micah, and I had some other special guest panelists on. I created We Can't Breathe in Light, and it was inspired by all the craziness that's going on, right? The We Can't Breathe slogan does not belong to me. It belongs to all of us, to be honest with you, not just Black people, but it belongs to all of us. And so the purpose is to not only educate you guys out there, but to encourage you to get involved. I'm tired of seeing people that are my color, okay, and people of color for that matter, getting killed on the streets for no reason, police brutality and excessive force. So I'm going to be continue doing this show on Mondays to help bring awareness, but also provide you tools. It won't just be a conversation; it'll be a plan of action. I'm going to be using this show, and I'm organizing a group, and we're going to go on the March on Washington on August the 28th under the We Can't Breathe live stream that I'm organizing too. So I want to talk a little bit.
So this happens. Go ahead.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about it on Monday as well. But this coming Monday is going to be about justice reform, and we're also going to talk about Black trans lives and why it matters just as much.
That's great. I did ask me to be a part of it, and I really appreciate that invitation. I thank you for it. We did have a great time. Micah Pierce was there. Your friend Timothy, I don't know his last name, but I love that man.
Yes,
Yeah, love
he
him.
he was the lead. He played Lola in Kinky Boots on Broadway in New York.
Yeah, I mean he has such um an educated point of view, that it's really refreshing to hear and to share. So this happens on Mondays, 9:30 Eastern. It's my time. And then what's your time? It's
6:30
5:30, 6:30.
time.
Yeah. So it happens every Monday. The first episode was this Monday, and I believe I'll be on it this Monday as well, aren't I?
That's right.
Yes, baby. I'll be in high horse drag right for you. Good. Okay, so we're gonna move on to people's questions. We only have one question with Christopher Iman's question, which I'm gonna ask her right now after this segment. But I want to ask you right now, how are you feeling today? I mean, with everything that's been going on since March all the way up to now, how are you doing?
I feel hopeful, honestly. Honestly, last week it was a totally different thing. But now I feel like, okay, something's going to get some type form of justice is going to happen. But more than that, I'm fired up and ready to go. Okay, I'm putting it into action. So I'm fired up, ready to go, and I'm encouraging everybody else to do the same.
We didn't talk about the purpose of the vote on your show. You forgot about that. You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah. Okay. So the purpose of my show, or the purpose of the reason why I want to do it.
The reason.
Okay. So the reason why I want to do it is the ultimate goal is, like I said, not only to educate everyone about the topics, because we're not, even myself included, we're not educated enough about these people who are making the decisions for us. We keep expecting a different result, but we keep doing the same things. So this moment calls for us all to do something different than we have been doing. So I want to not only educate, but also provide you the resources where people can know where to vote early. There are registration deadlines if people want to vote by mail. I mean, there's different things. So I want to put some of the expertise that I know and some of the resources that I know into the town hall, but also ultimately get people out there to vote. Get people out there to vote in November. I don't care about, one issue stuff, none of that. It doesn't matter, because this year is life and death election.
Yep, literally, it is life and death election. All right, so thank you for that, and thank you for having me as well. And I support your project, and I know it's gonna take off, because it really does give a very educated point and informative point of view to everybody that's watching. Let's move on to People's Choice, our last segment, to see what questions they got for you. What is the one thing you would do if you had no consequences? Damn, that's a good pageant question.
What is the one? I feel like I'm at Continental. What is the one thing I would do if I had I would probably jump out of a plane without a parachute. Because I've been telling myself I'm scared of heights, but I want to do something every year that I would never do. So if I knew I could jump out of a plane and not die, but still get the excitement and all that stuff, I would do that.
Have you done it with a parachute?
No, but I've been promising that I would.
I gave that gift to my husband when he turned 30 years old.
Oh, really?
I did it too in my early years, but that was his gift. Yeah, it was amazing. You need to definitely try that. What are you waiting for?
Did you enjoy it?
Of course I did. It's amazing. I mean, it's scary, once they open up the door and you just see that, they just push you out, but it's rewarding afterwards. I mean, it's crazy.
We'll see.
Yeah, you should totally do that. Okay, so Christopher Iman, name your first male lead.
Oh, he would ask this question, Lord. This is my first male lead crush.
Let's move on to Kevin Carlson. When are you coming to Miami to visit Raul and me?
I'm getting me in trouble. When are you coming to Miami to visit Raul and me? I need to come soon. Actually, I'm. They said the coronavirus is spiking up again. So let me see what's going. Let me see what's going on.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So let me see what's going to happen. But I would love to come sometime this summer.
You haven't been here
Kevin,
in a very long time.
Kevin was one of the ones that started with us when we were competing in like 2007. I think he was part of that same group. So yes, Kevin, I will definitely when I come there, I'm going to make sure that you're going to be one of the ones I see.
You haven't been down here in a very long time.
No, I have so many friends down there, so I'm going to make sure. Before all this, I was everywhere, every fucking where. And so the good thing about this is they always say, how can you do something at home if you don't stay home long enough to plant a seed? And so the good thing is I've been able to stay home and be creative. But once the gates open, I'm going to be out there like you just let somebody out of jail.
Do you see yourself running for political office in the future?
I am. Yes, I do see myself running for maybe a congressional seat. Maybe I'll start local. But I do see myself right now. I am trying to do the grassroots stuff that it takes so that when I do run, I have a pretty good platform to run on. But I do see myself being in politics.
That's amazing. I didn't know that about you either. And
Yeah.
I will support you. And I wish you the best of luck. What's going on with your music now?
So right now I'm working with some amazing producers who work with other amazing celebrities and stuff. And so we're trying to get together like a little LP, right? So that we can go out there and hopefully sometime in the summer to go out there and just perform and promote it. And we're working on getting our music on some other movie soundtracks right now. So we're just taking all the opportunities as they come and just using this time to just write music and be creative.
We have one more question before we go.
Okay.
Who from your hometown would you like to see compete and win Miss Continental and Continental Plus?
Okay, one of the people that I came out to for Tiana Maserati Steele. She's never competed for Continental before, but she's competed for MBU and stuff. And I just think she would do so well at Continental. I've been trying to get her to do it, and she brushed me off. But I think that she will do exceptionally well because she's so talented. And in so many ways, she's the female version of me, like the way that she carries herself and the way that she is on stage. And Xavier knows that too. As far as Continental Plus, of course, I want to see my cousin Kitty Litter win because I feel like she could have always have won that pageant. She actually almost won, a couple of times. So, yeah.
And she's had an amazing career,
Yeah.
throughout the years.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you. You know how I feel about you. You know it very well.
You are the
and I want to thank you for accepting my invitation of being here. And we have a lot of things going on at the same time, and we have linked up again to kind of connect and share a lot of everything that's going on right now. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful for you and for your time. And you make sure that when we're done with this, you ship me my shirt back because I just sent it to you for tonight.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna let you go, but so I have this hyperhidrosis thing going, so I have to go change into another shirt that allows me to breathe. Okay, so that's why this is good. This is close, but thank you so much.
That's fine. I mean, as long as you give it back to me, that's fine, baby. You can ship it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I really respect you, and I want to thank everybody for watching too.
Christopher Johnson just sent a comment, and I'm going to read it out loud because I'm going to put it on blast. I'm going to put him on blast real quick. I love these interviews, even from the people that I'm close to, because it just goes to show there are so many layers to a person that one wouldn't know if not a platform like this. So much more to us than entertaining. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you so much. But if you will return my phone call, we can actually get done with this process of having you here next Wednesday. Because I already advertised that you were here next Wednesday.
Because I'm ready to hear some dirt about him now. I done spilled all mine.
He don't answer the phone, baby. He don't answer the phone. I tell him let's talk, let's do this, let's do that. So I don't know what Thank you for the compliment and for all the praise, baby. But you
look at me.
You see. I'm telling you. Thank you, Kalil.
You're welcome.
It's been great. I appreciate you so much, and I'm gonna see you soon. We'll be in contact after this throughout the weekend. We'll talk to each other. Thank you so much.
I'll see you on my town.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Be well. Thank you so much for watching tonight, for tuning in. I want to invite you all to Chevelle Brooks' Boom Boom Room, which is happening right now, actually, in her page. She's about to start right now. So if you want to see some entertainment and a good interview, I mean, Chevelle is amazing at what she does and the way that she gets personal with people. Make sure you check it out on her Facebook page, Chevelle Brooks, The Boom Boom Room. On Thursday, tomorrow, I have Sasha Colby. So I want you all to help me because she has an amazing story. I want you all to help me to be able to advertise this. She's never spoken about her story before, where she grew up. How was it? How did she get into all this? How did she even, got her augmentations and all of that and became an amazing entertainer? Her relationships with the celebrities and the fashion shows and this and that, everything, it's out there for us to know. So make sure that it's an enlightening interview. So make sure that you check it out tomorrow. Sasha Colby. And right after our show, we have Tasha Long's show on her Facebook page. Make sure that you also hashtag the Local Queen Merch and you follow our pages, Local Queen Merch and Stream Miami. Enter the contest because it helps. It helps to have a little help during these times. And thank you for supporting this platform. Next week, we have amazing guests. And throughout, I'm going to try to keep this going as long as I have at least some of the viewers. So help me out to be able to support this platform and get some viewers out. For tonight, we're done. And good night.